Hello and welcome back to Webcast News. Let's get started. First of all, some quick news. Anne Kirkbride, the actress who played Deirdre Barlow in Coronation Street, unfortunately died last night, aged 60, in a Manchester hospital after suffering from a short illness. Kirkbride joined Coronation Street in 1972 to play the now famous character Deirdre Barlow, and was famously married to Ken Barlow, played by William Roach. She was currently on a 3-month leave from the show because of her illness, and her real-life husband, David Beckett, and cast members of the show have come out and said that basically, in summary, that they are devastated and heartbroken about the loss of a very treasured and talented actress. So, obviously, thoughts go out to the friends and family of Anne Kirkbride. I didn't actually watch Coronation Street, but to be in a show for that long that was so popular is very impressive. Next in the news, TV news presenter Owen Thomas has got into the news because of his rant at British Airways whilst on a flight from London to St Lucia, as he was in the first class seating. He was on a flight from London to St Lucia for a 10-day holiday along with one of his work business executive friends, and they had saved up a lot of air miles over the past couple of years because they obviously travel a lot to do their news reporting, and they hadn't really met each other or seen each other for a couple of years, so they decided that they would take a once-in-a-life trip in first class to the Caribbean. Now, I want you to think that this flight would cost £9,000. What they actually ended up finding in their first class seats were marks that you could scratch off, dust and grime underneath the footrest, and just complete a mess basically. Now it looks like they actually used a lot of air mile points that they had both gathered up so that the flight actually didn't cost anywhere near the £9,000. But still, when you're trying to charge that much money and you leave your first class area in a complete state, that doesn't sound good for you at all. British Airways have come out and apologised to Owen Thomas and said that the area did fall below their high standards. And now in really bad news, because it is another ISIS video in which the video identifies 2 Japanese men that they are now holding hostage and have set a ransom price to Japan of $200 million. Now the 2 men are Kenji Gotojogo and Haruna Yukawa. And Kenji is a freelance reporter who has written books on his AIDS and children in war zone areas. And he apparently met Haruna last year when he helped Kenji travel to Iraq. Now Mr. Yukawa was already going through a really bad time because his wife had just recently died from lung cancer and he had lost his business and his house to bankruptcy. Jihadi John, the British ISIS member, was the one in the video making the speech, as he has been for the beheadings of the US and UK citizens before, and he basically said that ISIS wanted $200 million and that this attack was because Japan was proudly giving money to the Middle Eastern countries to help in the fight against ISIS. This part of the statement basically read, "You have proudly donated $100 million to kill our women and children, to destroy the homes of the Muslims." He then went on to say that Japan had 72 hours to change the mind of their government and to stop them giving money to help others in the fight against ISIS, adding one of the last and probably most scariest comments, saying that else this knife will become your nightmare, and then went on to demand the $200 million. No real comments have come out from Japan yet, or the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, but the best we can hope for at the minute is that these 2 men are rescued and do survive, but it doesn't look good. And on a bit of a sad note really, that is the end of today's video. Hope you can still like the video. If you do, hit that like button, hit that share button to get it out there, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching.